What's up, y'all? I'm just literally turning on the camera right now and just pressing let pray. This is it. This is what we're getting. We're just going for it. No formal introduction, video, or anything. My name is Kiera Saray. If you're looking at my YouTube channel, wondering how to pronounce it, that's what we have. And the reality of my life right now is I turned 30 tomorrow. My 30-somethings. So my 1995 babies. It's this year. It's this year, and when I heard that said, you know what? You might be onto something with that one. Literally, I was like, dang, that is true. Like, you really just a 10-year-old adult. Like, because if it was just handed it to me, I wouldn't have been able to give them a blueprint. I just was like, I don't want to watch nothing like that now. Like, I don't want nothing to do with anything like, oh, happy go married. Like, I just wanted to be in my funk. Like, I didn't want to watch something like that. So watching this movie, and the movie, it really messed with me because it started off at a funeral. Let's talk about it. Up until the last few months of last year and this year, I was like a little in a frantic. Just the thought of when you hit 30, you hear, baby, that's big people age. You hear like, what are you doing with your life type, you know, like that's grown people age for real. Like, that's grown people age for real. 30. So it can really get to your head for real. And that's where I was for a long time. And then sometime in last year, it just kind of clicked. It switched till like, dang, 30, like, let's get it, you know. I was watching this video, and I think it was on TikTok. I'm pretty sure it was on TikTok. And I just joined the TikTok hype, y'all. I used to hate TikTok, and now I'm just like, oh, this is kind of fun. But I was watching this video, and it was another person, and they were doing like a little podcast, and one of the ladies was talking about just turning 30 and how she, you know, it was scary and this, that, and the third, or how it is scary and all these things, just going down really a negative list or a negative aspect of being 30. And the other person that was hosting it was just like, let me just tell you something. Like, when you become 20 is like when you really start to move into adulthood. Like, you graduate, most people graduate high school at 18. That 18, 19 year, you're still in your teenage years, and you hit 20 is when you're no longer a teenager and when you really start to move into your adulthood. And so when you look at the reality of that 30, you really just a 10-year-old adult. And that's what she was saying. When I heard that said, you know what? You might be onto something with that one. Literally, I was like, dang, that is true. Like, you really just a 10-year-old adult. Like, you're only been in this for 10 years, for real. Like, figuring it out and lifing. Like, 10 years is so... It's like a short time. 10 years is a short time span. Like, it sounds so long, but y'all, I was just 20. Like, I was just 10. Like, 10 years is such a short time span. Given so much can happen in 10 years, but time really moves. And it waits for no one. So when she said that, that's when I was like, that's true. That is so true. And like what ifs, like everything that I had and was dealing with in my mind of the aspect of becoming 30 and the about it just kind of went away. And I'm just like, it's just 30. Like, it's just 30. And I was talking to my big bro, who's also like another father figure to me, and he was just saying like, man, Key, like 30 is really when you start living. Like, 30 is really when life just like really begins and you really start to become. And I agree wholeheartedly. I checked off so much in year 29 that's like, I can see that, oh, I'm on to something. Like, 30 about to be it for real. And it's about to be fun. So I'm really just recording this today because I know that like everyone has like this comparison aspect. Like, that's really what the of being 30 becomes, is you start to compare, and you comparing your life to others and what they have and what they may have had at 25 that you don't currently have now. You about to be 30, like whatever this, that, and the third is. But comparison kills, right? The cliche saying, comparison kills, but it does. It takes away the authentic aspect of your story, and your story is going to be able to help the next person, right? So what I went through and the process that I had to get to come to where I am now is purpose, and I'm going to be able to help the next person, right? Because if it was just handed it to me, I wouldn't have been able to give them a blueprint of how to overcome and succeed in different areas. I don't regret anything given. I could have done some things differently, but I think the process and how it became, I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for the struggle. I'm grateful for the pruning. I'm grateful for all of it. Yeah, so I'm really just recording this video as a timestamp of, because y'all about to go through this journey with me. Like, let's go through this together. Let's talk it out. Let's have serious conversations. Let's lay it out, really. 100% realness here. I was watching this movie. It's called Greater. So I was having a moment, and Holy Spirit was checking me, for real, for real. And I was just like, I'm just about to put on a movie. I'm just about to put on a movie because I was starting to get in my flesh and I didn't want to get there, and it was just about a certain situation. And because of like, I really love watching like rom-coms or romantic movies or like love stories or, you know, typical mushy gushy girly stuff type things. And I just was like, I don't want to watch nothing like that now. Like, I don't want nothing to do with with anything like, oh, happy go married. Like, I just wanted to be in my funk. Like, I didn't want to watch nothing like that. So I was like, let me watch the sports movies, because I love watching sports movies, especially because they're usually like true stories, and I just love watching and hearing about people's stories. I just love it. So I put on this sports movie, and little did I know, he led me there on purpose. He was like, I'm glad you don't want to watch all that mushy gushy stuff, because maybe I got something for you. So I'm watching this movie, and the movie is called Greater, and I did not expect the movie to be what the movie was going to be. Like, usually sports stories aren't, they could be emotional, but like not this emotional. Like, immediately I'm like I'm about to turn the movie off because I'm upset, and I'm only upset because, like, dang, I don't want to be mad. Like, I don't want to be mad about having to see somebody like pass away. Like, sin just makes me be like, I hate the fall. I hate the fall so much. It's so irritating that we have to go through this, that, and the third, and that, like, we have to see people leave this earth. But nevertheless, God's still good, right? So I'm watching this movie, and the movie, it really messed with me because it started off at a funeral. And when it started off at the funeral, and because it started off at the funeral, you kind of see a glimpse of who the funeral might be about. You see this young man and this, that, and the third, and then you see like this main character who's kind of narrating the story, like, I guess you can call him that. And you, in the beginning, you're like, what's going on? Because you don't understand. Like, you start you start the beginning at the end, and you're just like, what is happening? And so when you start watching the story, you're just like, oh my gosh, you see who the story is about. So the movie is just about this young man who plays football, and backing up, he had a dream to play football, and not only to play football, but he wanted to become a professional NFL player. He wanted to, but most importantly, before he even got to the pro level, he wanted to play for a particular college team. And that college team is where he wanted, and he didn't want to settle for anything less, right? So no one believed that he could, because of he was not athletic, and there were just things about him where they were like, yeah, right, okay, keep dreaming, right? But this movie was so dope because you just see him living in purpose, like, throughout his life. Like, he lived a purposeful life, and that it didn't matter what people had to say, right? He still had the end goal in mind, and he pushed beyond that. Like, he got up every single day and kept going and kept trying and lived like in purpose. Every person he came in contact with, like, he was a light to them. Like, it was just so dope to see him show up for himself every day, to show up in general every single day. And they even showed the aspect where it wasn't all, you know, oh, I'm a light to this person. Like, he had his moments. He had his moments where life got frustrating because he knew that he had this goal and he was seeking for this goal and he kept getting knocked down, right? So they showed his frustrating moments, which was dope because it happens. It's life. But even beyond that, he kept pushing and he kept going. And it was just really awesome because he was such a great person and such a great guy, and he lived it to the fullest. And everybody that he came in contact with, life changed. And so it really got to me because it's like, man, you really don't know the day, right? He passed away really young. He was just days away from signing to the NFL, and no one thought he'd ever get there. And it really just had me be like, man, like, I'm complaining about, like, he didn't even make it to 30. I'm complaining about, like, oh my God, I'm 30 and I'm not at this place, and it's fine, right? As long as you live out the dash to your best ability. Stop like worrying and focusing on, oh, I'm not here, I'm not there. Man, just live in purpose. Like, just do the things that God is calling you to do and do them now. And it doesn't have to be at this max level or where you feel like you should be or where you want to go, right? Because what you have now, you are already equipped now, so just do it. Stop looking to beyond, like live in the now. Long story short, is to live in the now. Do all that you can. Even in your waiting season, there's still things that you could be doing in preparation for that next journey. So don't sit there in a funk like, oh, you gave me this promise, God, and I'm not. Yeah, because there's probably things that you should be doing and pruning and preparing for your next season. So take the time out to ask God, okay, God, okay, this is where you said I'm going and I'm not there yet. So what is it that you want me to do in my now, right? Who is it that you want me to speak to? Where is it that you want me to go, right? Position me for that. Help me to wait in this season. Help me to become her. Help me to become him, whatever that might be. Just live life. Use the gifts and the talents and everything that God has given you. Use them now. Use them now. You are already equipped for where you're going, right? Just going back to, I don't even know how this became a Bible lesson, but it's just like, and not even going too deep into it, right? So just going back to the fish and the loaves, right? The disciples came with the problem, just like, okay, Jesus, this is a problem. These people is hungry and we ain't got nothing. He said, baby, take inventory. Take inventory. What do we have? What do we have, right? So they bring to Jesus, this is what we have. Okay, cool bean. We're going to use what we have and we're going to make it become something, right? We're not going to cry about the lack thereof, and we're going to focus on advancement. We're going to focus on multiplication, right? We're going to make this become something. So he took what they already had and he blessed it. So that's your gratitude in this season. God, I'm grateful for the season that I'm in. I'm blessing it. I'm thank you that I'm here and I'm able to experience this and experience that, so that when I get into my next season, I'm not only extremely grateful for it, but I can help the next person come out of that season, right? So he took what they had, he blessed it, and it became more than the disciples could have ever thought or imagined, right? Jesus already knew, like, y'all tripping, like, this is something. You over here talking about something, we only have this, is nothing. No, but this is something, right? So they took what we have, just going back to Moses, that staff that you have, yeah, use that. Go ahead and use that and get these people some water, right? You already have the tools you need. You already have something. Be grateful for it. Take it up to God. Stand in gratitude and watch it become something. I'm saying all this to say is that I turn 30 tomorrow, and you probably will see this video. I probably will be already 30. It probably will be tomorrow when I upload it. But I turned 30 and I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to this journey. I'm looking forward to going through this journey with you guys, the good and the bad, because the reality of social media is that we only see the good aspects, and I hope to be 100% real. I hope to show the downs of the journey, because there's been so many over the years, and at the end of the day, I'm grateful for them all. Honestly, so to my 30 somethings, to my 1995 babies. It's this year. It's this year, and we're gonna take it and we're gonna go with it, and that's gonna be that. And yeah, I love y'all. I hope y'all stick around. I literally just turned on the camera, so nothing about me looks camera ready, but it's okay. 100% realness. So I hope y'all stick around, and I love y'all, and I love y'all for real.